Hi, I'm Shawna Karish with another Ask Shawna answer for today. So today's question comes from JoAnne, and it is, my new mare is 8 years old and spent most of her time in a pasture. She had 6 months professional training, but then 2 years off and neglected. I now have her back into training. She does not like to be caught, and she sometimes has panic attacks in her stall when I walk up to get her. We've not been able to take her halter off as she will run you around the stall and get extremely upset. I have Jane Savoy's Freedom from Fear and love the portion of clicker training for an ear-shy horse. Any thoughts would be wonderful. I've done some clicker training with my dogs as well. Okay, JoAnne, well, I'm glad that you brought this up, because it's certainly something you can change very easily, and they're kind of like scales that are out of balance. You have your horse right now finds it more reinforcing to avoid people, not want to be caught. As we start putting weight in the form of positive reinforcement on the scales, you're going to get a horse that is going to follow you around and will come to you. So that's where we're going to get to, and you're going to get there pretty quickly. Right now, who knows what goes through her head as she's having the issues with it. But that part really doesn't matter. It's really pretty black and white. We just want to change her behavior. And I would recommend that what you start doing is the clicker conditioning, since you're kind of familiar with the clicker training with your dog. So start conditioning the clicker as the Pavlovian classic conditioning, so we give it value. It turns into a reinforcer. So as you do that, go in with your clicker, go in with, a waste pack with food. I use a side bucket, whatever it is. And go in, you can also do it at feeding time when maybe she's, her hunger is at its highest, where she's looking for food and maybe a little bolder towards approaching you. And what I do a lot of times, if I deal with a really young, like sometimes I've worked with feral horses or really young horses that are babies that just got weaned and haven't had much human exposure, I'll go in and actually, if you feel safe with her, I will actually go into the corner of the stall and I'll actually squat down. So I'm in the least aggressive or least intimidating posture. You just squat down, and pretty soon she may be in the other edge of the stall, but when you see her kind of even look to you, you could click and then offer her some food, and pretty soon you'll have her coming towards you. I would then begin to stand up, and then I would look for her to just follow you a little bit. And this is something that we did a lot with when I worked at SeaWorld. At one point in time, we had some naive beluga whales came in, and they're very timid animals, and they had to learn about people. And instead of going to them and trying to approach them, let them approach you. And even sometimes if they would come to us, we would move away so that they got a little bit bolder. So you kind of just want to reverse it a little bit. Instead of always trying to go get her, teach her to come to you. Utilizing the food, you have now put something in it for her that she holds as a very high value. And that's why I said doing it at feeding time may kind of help her to want to initiate that interaction a little bit more. And in really, really short order, if you can just do it a couple times, really short sessions, maybe 3-5 minutes, in really short order, you're going to have her coming to you and her being bolder and not being so worried about it. And if you can, a lot of the times, if you could do it a couple times without catching her, just teach her to come in, do it 5 minutes when you first get there and 5 minutes before you go home, and offer the reinforcement. And then I'd move into the target training. But you're going to really quickly see her following you around the stall. You will get over it. I've done it over and over again. She'll get over her issue, and she'll get where she really trusts you and wants to spend time with you. So you get the bridge conditioning down, then move into the target training. Now, you're still going to have to catch her in between, because she's in training and she still needs to be caught. So what I would do the times when you do need to get her, once you catch her and she has her little panic attack, look for the smallest iota of settling down. So, maybe she's up and she's just tense. As soon as you see her soften just the slightest bit, her eyes, her jaw, her shoulder, her head carriage, whatever it is, the slightest little bit, click and reinforce and remind her that these are part of it. And then you could even use the target there and say, target good, target there, and get her back on track, get her focusing on something that she knows, likes, and wants to do. And you're going to turn this around lickety split. Anyway, so thanks for your question, JoAnne, and I would love it if you keep me posted on your progress and how she's doing as she comes along, not only in training, but in being caught and her changing her attitude and her worry. What I think you're going to see too is a lot of times when there's that much worry about being caught, whether she shows it or not, there's a lot of worry about the whole training process. So as she learns to trust you and builds up the positive reinforcement and the desirable reinforcement history with you, you're going to see that she will probably be much more responsive and much more relaxed throughout the entire training process. So you're going to open a lot of doors. They're just going to make the training so much easier and so much more fun for the both of you. And I'm glad that I remember Jane and her horse that she got from Sue Blinks, the ear issue. So that's kind of fun you brought that up. Anyway, just keep me posted. My name is Shawna Karish. If anybody has questions that they would like to have discussed here, please feel free to go to askshawna.com. Anyway, until next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye.